difference between embracing what we feel and indulging what we feel. So we can embrace that we're hurt, or that we're resentful, or that we're scared, or these other things. That is true. We don't want to say that we're not and just try to act that's not true. What's true is that I'm scared, or I'm hurt, or I'm angry, or whatever. And there are all these other things that are also present. And so allowing everything to be in a state of equality and freedom to be what it is, and unconditional acceptance, and a state of unity within me, and then allowing all of that to be part of the bigger picture of everything else that's true. And as we allow that space within us, we begin to see the pain that we were trying to reject in that situation. And often it is making an enemy out of our ego, that we don't want to feed it. I don't want to feed you. Well, actually, that's exactly what it's asking for, is to be fed.
The crying baby.
With love. Yeah. And so having a different relationship with these things. In my own experience, when something happens and I have a moment where I'm really frustrated or angry, the moment that I see it, that's literally what I say is, I see you. I see you. Okay, I see that you're here. You too can be here. What else is happening? But I've had I've had the benefit of a lot of time and practice to be able to get some distance from this over time. But I've also learned to be able to walk people through getting to that process much quicker than I did, and learning it very quickly. I use the analogy of, we can do a lot of these practices of picking at this little thread and picking at that little thread, my fear of this or my anger about that. Or we can just pull the whole one thread that pulls the whole sleeve off, which is about our judgment of everything that's going on within us, or that we're perceiving in others, which we're only experiencing within us. So this is where we go into the value of the practice of, am I willing? Am I willing to be the presence of divine love given this? Because usually the answer is no.
Right.
And the moment where we say no, that's a big lesson. I know the world is crying out for love. What's missing in this situation is love, and I'm not willing to put it there.
That's the part. How do you get beyond that? You just say, what else is
You
here?
own the truth. Okay, I
What
just
else is
said
going
no.
on?
Oh my God, I just said no. What is happening here? Okay, all of this that's within me. This no is true. You too can be here. And I still have a desire for there to be love in the world. That too is true. All of it is here. You see, but we have a tendency to focus and indulge in that one thing. We're identified then with that belief, as opposed to the greater awareness of all of it is here. It just helps us pull back a little more and a little more. And as we give that space, then we begin to see that the pain that's right there. A lot of teachers talk about the analogy of simply remembering that you're like the sky, and these are the clouds that are passing by. So rather than identifying with that cloud, and then that's all about that cloud, just taking the bigger step back to sort of see that it's just
nice.
all
I like
of the
that.
tapestry
Well, I
of the
like
sky.
your question was the answer. It was, what else is going on? You guys get stuck on this one thing, but what else is going on?
Yeah.
All around.
But you see, I also am able to usually see the momentum. Anything that we're experiencing didn't just start here. It's because of the momentum. And so I'm able to sort of look at the momentum. In the very first experience that I had, re-experiencing humanity's evolution, I saw what caused the crucifixion scene. And it wasn't what I'd always heard from my grandmother, that there was a betrayal by a disciple and then some people in power who felt threatened by Jesus. In my experience, what caused the crucifixion was the momentum of a mindset. These ideologies of fear and conflict that had taken ages to cultivate, to perpetuate, and entrench. And so these thrived in the moralizing, domineering egos ruling religion and politics, and in the subservient masses that believed they were at their mercy. So I watched all of that momentum come to a head in the crucifixion and then continue on in different ways. So for me, I know the value of looking at what's the momentum behind here, what's the ideologies that have come into this expression, because I also know it is the reaction to that expression that decides what's created anew. Do we continue that ideology? Am I going to react in the same ideology? It's the same thing with the Malala Yousafzai. Or do I react from a different ideology based in love, based in genuine divine love?
And so are you saying that we can do that with our own lives?
Absolutely.
If we look at our circumstances, we can theoretically or if we're able, if we're willing, if we allow it, see the momentum that brought us to this point.
Absolutely.
And so if one is actually wanting to see that, and yet it's going on for ages and ages and one doesn't see it, there must be something else blocking the willingness to see that.
Well, if you have different questions coming into the exploration, for example, if you sit down and you've always been looking for what's the cause, ask a new question. What would like to be known in this journey? It's a different question, and so it's a different energy coming in. So then you sit with that question and there's new perspectives that come in. But once you are able to view, and it won't be just one mind stream, there's going to be a lot of tributaries to what's going on, you begin to have such deep self-compassion for everything that you've been through, for all the contributing factors in your life, for all the teachers along the way that helped you get to that point. We begin to become much more self-compassionate. We are not used to that at all. And we have many doors now where we can find that journey into self-compassion, because that's also what's seeking to be known in this time of unfolding, is how to be self-compassionate.